The legal system in this country is a joke. And I want to say God bless Justice Harry Waxman is his name?
Was it
Roxman?
Rothwax?
I don't know, Ginsburg, Rothwax.
Oh, boy.
Whole world. I'll tell you. But everyone, Rothwax. But this guy, Harry Rothwax, just wrote a book. I don't know, he's a judge. And the guy's been a judge for 15 billion years. And he finally wrote a book and he says, we got to change this system, the judicial system. This is the first judge to say it. He's the first one to make out a bold statement, blow the whistle. He says, first of all, you got to get rid of the Miranda rights. You know what those are? You know when the cops have to sit there and go, you have the right to remain silent? He said, get rid of that. Because you know what that's like? That's ridiculous.
That's the first trip.
Yeah. Of course you got to get them to say something.
Trip almost everybody on that one. That's why you can't convict anybody.
If you got some slug in your arms and you're a cop and you say, and the guy's about to go, okay, I did it. And then you have to say, oh, I didn't say you have the right to remain silent.
So that's not admissible.
Yeah, just get rid of that. Of course get rid of that. The Miranda rights is like when you're playing Parcheesi. You got to know every rule, you know. I mean, come on already, Miranda rights. You don't know to keep quiet when the cops come? That's your problem.
You get them when they're babbling.
Yeah.
That's when you can get a confession.
Yeah, Miranda. Who the hell is Miranda anyway? And what right do they have to tell us what to do? The next thing you have to do is deny a suspect's right to a lawyer during questioning. Absolutely true. You get these sharks and thieves in there, and they sit next to you, and right away they come up with the alibi. They come up with everything. You got to be able to question someone. You want a camera on the guy to see that nothing illegal was done? Where you twist the guy's head? Fine. You can't have a shark in there with you. It's the same reason when you're indicted by a grand jury, you go to the grand jury room without a lawyer. They got to get some truth out of this. O.J. shouldn't have any lawyers standing next to him. He's innocent. He's got nothing to hide. His story rings true. Answer the questions. Wait, he's got a lawyer sitting next to him. Screw the lawyers. If you're innocent, just answer truthfully.
Well, I don't know, Howard. Some innocent people wind up in jail.
Then he says, fine, I'll take that chance.
So long as it's not you.
Yeah, so far the only thing he said is deny them the Miranda rights, which that doesn't affect anything, absolutely doesn't affect anything. And the second thing is, don't have a lawyer present when you question someone. You want a video camera, you want a audio tape, fine. You want to see that we're not breaking the guy's arm or injecting him with sodium pentothal, fine.
Yeah.
The next thing is they want lethal injections in every cop's glove box. So that the cops can just kill you right on the spot when they see that you did it.
They know who's guilty.
Then the next thing is great. Allow jurors to assume a defendant has something to hide if he or she doesn't take the stand. Absolutely true. God bless Judge Rothwax. Of course they have something. What do you think they have? Of course they have something to hide when they don't take this stand. Of course they do. If you think O.J. had an alibi, don't you think he'd get up there and go, you know what I did? I was sleeping in my bed. Well, O.J., how come we saw you running around in a black ski mask? Well, I was golfing. I thought you said you were sleeping. No, I was I confess.
Sleep golf.
Number 4.
O.J. is not every defendant.
Who cares? And then finally, most importantly, replace unanimous jury verdict with a 10-2 or an 11-1 verdict. Let me tell you something why you must have this. There are people in this country who do not have the brain capacity to sit on a jury. Unfortunately, those that do not have the brain capacity to sit on a jury are the people who most likely end up on juries because they have no jobs. They don't understand that when you watch, as in the O.J. case, when you watch a case, you don't sit there and analyze it through voodoo dolls. You're not supposed to be Kojak and watch the guy wringing his hands and therefore come to the assumption that he's nervous. You don't sit there and say, I didn't like that Mark Furman. His eyes look cold. You're supposed to listen to the testimony and then
see if there's corroboration or not.
You got people who, I don't know, that man, his hair was slicked back like a Nazi. I don't like it.
He was just too clean.
He was too clean, and that Christopher Darden, he was put there as Uncle Tom. He was put there to
as a token.
You're not supposed to decide whether the prosecutor is a token. supposed to sit there and listen to the evidence. The guy's a man. He's a lawyer. Just listen. Forget what skin color he is. No one asks you to judge whether he's a token. We're going to have that trial after this one, whether Christopher Darden's a token. But there are people who don't understand what their responsibility is as a juror.
But there's another reason they don't understand.
They're stupid.
It's the gobbledygook they're supposed to... Do you remember Judge Ito charging that jury? He couldn't even read that.
Exactly.
No.
So imagine if we don't understand it, and Judge Ito doesn't understand it. Imagine the morons who sat on the O.J. jury. They certainly couldn't understand
But
it.
why is it written that way?
And, people have criticized Judge Rothwachs and said, well, you know what his code word is there. The reason he wants a 10-2 or 11-1 verdict, he means the blacks and the Hispanics aren't bright enough to sit there and come up with a verdict. Now, I don't care what he's saying. I'm telling you that's the way to do it. I don't care if he means whites, blacks, purples, or oranges. God bless him. And Scott Ginsburg, I will continue to take you to court. And let's hope Judge Harry Rothwachs gets the case.
He doesn't say anything about the civil problem.
Oh, I would love it if a judge would come out in this case and say, Mr. Ginsburg, you have a contract with Howard Stern here. It says that you have to pay him.
Unless he violates the contract.
That is why Howard Stern signed this contract, so that you couldn't screw him over. Otherwise, he would have done it on a handshake. But I'm not doing any business with Scott Ginsburg on a handshake. It's hard enough with a piece of paper. And then the judge would say, why didn't you pay your bill? And Ginsburg would go, hamana, 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 baruch atah Adonai. And then the judge would say, well, Mr. Ginsburg, this suit is without merit. I mean, the fact that you have a contract, you have to, and you will now pay Howard Stern the full amount, and also you will pay his legal bills. That's what I'm after. Mm-hmm. But I haven't gotten that yet. But I'm anticipating getting it. I can't imagine that if I don't get it, I will be shocked, because I will never sign another contract again, because paper is meaningless. Anybody can get out of anything then. But how you doing, Scott, this morning in Dallas? I know you're listening, because you listen to me every day, because every one of your radio personalities sounds like me. So you must send them tapes. Right, Robin?
That's how they do it.
That's how they do it. And I wish there was a radio personality I could tape so I could learn something. I've taped them all. The other day I had a tape of this guy Lionel. I said, let me see what he sounds like. He's on AM. I said, let me hear him. I listen. I don't even understand what the guy's talking about. I don't even know what he said. Imus has been incoherent forever. There is no way Imus will ever beat anybody in the ratings. He doesn't beat anyone in the ratings. Look at the ratings. He can't win. He's incoherent and a bore. Man Queer went down faster than anyone. I was already up into a 3. He was only ahead by a point in 6 months. Mark and Brian had a better track record. Who is the one out there that can beat me? Where is the suck ass that can beat me? You know, the first time I heard Imus, my father sent me a tape. I was in Washington, D.C. I had never heard him before. And I grew up in New York. I never listened to the guy. He sends me the tape. I said, Dad, does this tape come with a descrambler? He goes, what do you mean? I said, don't they have to descramble the message? It's a scrambled message, isn't it? I said, where is the descrambler? You have to send that with. Don't you understand they're trying to make money off the show?
They won't let you tape it.
It must be a great show. They unscramble it. He says, no, son, it's a free show. They couldn't give this thing away. And that was the end of the tape. Because if I listened to the tape, that would be the end of me. I would lose my ability to speak. I would begin to sound like a mumbling moron. Please, don't insult me with any more of the Imus comparisons. I heard it all. I heard over the years, Mark and Brian was going to beat me. DeBella was going to beat me. In fact, DeBella was so good they were going to give him a TV show. The TV show lasted a day. He was going to beat me. He was the one. In fact, they were going to put him on in Los Angeles because he was so good. Now he worships me. I've been given a talent by God himself. People can dream of greatness. People can say, what is it like to dream of greatness? I am greatness.
You don't have that dream.
I don't have to dream about greatness.
You wondered why you didn't have that dream.
I am the greatest single living radio personality that ever lived, and I will continue to be. And let me tell you another thing. There has never been a greater radio personality on the planet than me.
In the history of radio.
All these scumbags. Arthur Godfrey, you nasal bastard. I didn't know, anti-Semitic. Another guy you need a descrambler to understand what he's talking about. Big deal, he played a ukulele on the air. Who didn't think of that? Come here and take my picture. I'm at the top of my game. You might want to get a picture next to me. Why do you think 25,000 people stand online? To touch greatness.
What lit you on fire this morning?
Wow. I'm just telling you the way it is, honey. Scott Ginsburg lit me on fire. That's who lit me on fire. Scott Ginsburg.
Okay, because it was just a phone call.
Scott Ginsburg!
Oh, God.
Whoa! That's who lit me on fire. Scott Ginsburg. Living in Dallas, living on high on the hog when he owes me money. I can't stand guys who weasel out of contracts. That's right, Robin. Jackie. Oh. Not you, Fred.
Oh. Will you sit down?
Oh, there's my chair.
Oh, man.
Oh. Don't laugh at me. The greatest personality that ever lived.
You just knocked over
You're
a
lucky
chair. What was that?
that you get to look at me every morning.
What was that?
What?
You just knocked over a chair.
I know. I got angry. I'm nuts.
You're lucky you didn't hurt yourself.
Oh, chair hit me in the leg. I'm dying. Oh, I want to be macho. No, it's a big joke.
No, it's just the
This guy stiffed you, too. Stiffed all of us. Believe me. That's how our paychecks are formed.
Now you got Jackie angry.
You know.
You got our money.
What are you saying?
Scott Ginsburg. Rick Dees was going to beat me. Mark and Brian were going to beat me. Mark and Brian went down so fast. It wasn't
Like
even
the
funny.
Titanic.
Like the Titanic. They're now like number 27. And it doesn't help that Arbitron can't get it straight in Los Angeles. There's a whole controversy going on. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Well, I am, but you tell
The
him.
last ratings book, we're supposedly number 4 in Los Angeles. I know we're number 1. Everyone knows we're number 1. I just came off the biggest Tonight Show appearances. All over my ratings
And
are
you were
soaring.
number one, the ratings book before.
San Diego, I'm number 1. I mean, everywhere. Philadelphia, I'm number 1. You name it, I'm number 1. So all of a sudden in Los Angeles, I lost every white male 18 to 34. No one picked them up. Mark and Brian didn't get them.
They just disappeared.
They just disappeared off the map. Evidently, in order to appease the Spanish community increased by 15%. Arbitron went out and handed out 35% of the diaries to Spanish people, 35% increase, and reduced the white diaries 25%. So, of course, that's almost like a 70% swing. So, of course, all the white stations, now there were 13 white stations in Los Angeles who have gotten together and went to Arbitron Rating Service and said, oh, my God, you really think Howard Stern isn't number 1? You think he lost his entire audience? He was just in California. He was just on the Tonight Show. He did the book tour.
Yeah, if nobody's listening, how did he get so many people to show up at a book
Gee,
signing?
and what a coincidence. You just removed all the diaries from the white community. So, but you have to suffer these humiliations because they're the only game in town. And I don't like to complain too much about the ratings because, quite frankly, the ratings have been very good to me, and I don't want to piss anyone off because I'm sure somebody there could fix things against us. So, whatever. I don't care. Oh. I got to take a break, Robin.
Yeah, I would say so. You need to fix your leg. You probably broke it.
Broke it. Somebody give me a Band-Aid. Gorgeous-looking piece of ass.
The gorgeous-looking woman. Why is a piece of ass?
Because I'm angry at all women, and I have to reduce them
What are
to
you?
almost animals.
What are you? If women are a piece
I'm
of
an
ass.
ugly big gork. Okay, now you know. Oh, that's a fine little specimen. You see her ass walking along in a tight pair of stretch pants, you want to just kill yourself. You know how, like, when you look in a magazine, like a Playboy, and you want to kill yourself because you can't have that?
You actually have these feelings?
Yeah. Every guy has that.
I didn't
Jackie
know
was looking
that.
at the Sports Illustrated issue. He was like, I'm going to kill
He
myself.
wanted to kill himself.
Yeah, he wanted to kill himself. I said, Jackie, you know why you want to kill yourself? Because you know if I was single and you were single, we could be getting
You
that.
wouldn't be looking at that magazine.
And then that's when Jackie said, hey, let's make a videotape.
The magazine would come to life.
Yeah. I'd like to watch Kimberly go to the bathroom.
You don't even like to know that women do that.
Yeah, but I'd like to see her do it.
There's exceptions.
Yeah.
There's
Dirty her.
exceptions.
I'd like to see her dirty herself.
Sure.
Do dirty stuff.
Pitiful.
I've never seen a Barbie doll make on themselves.
Well, let's hope your daughters grow up to be very beautiful and men can have these thoughts about them.
Oh, be quiet. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I hope they grow up to be pieces of ass.
Be quiet. You know, that's it. I'm not talking to you anymore. You're not my friend. Go have sex with Rodman. See what's doing there.
Gives it a whole new connotation.
You
when
ruined
think
it.
of
You
as
ruined
a
it.
joke.
You ruined everything. You ruined it. You know, I have to talk about something serious.
Big day for O.J. Simpson. Not only will he be continuing to be deposed by the lawyers for the families of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman, but later this evening
He gets
takes
to chop their heads off.
to the airwaves on the Black Entertainment Television Network to do his first sit-down interview.
Now the Black Entertainment Television Network is saying they're going to be rough on OJ. Yeah, that sure.
Well, I don't understand. They keep saying there's nothing they can't ask, but they don't want to retry O.J.
Oh, I see. Oh, so maybe we should just ask him how things are going.
It seems to me that's where they want to keep this interview.
A good interview. Yeah.
But the president...
Hello, my brother. Now, let me say right up top here that the Mr. O.J. Simpson, he was found innocent. Now, he has told me I could ask him the tough questions, so I'm going to now ask him a tough question.
Well, I think the guy's name is Ed Burns.
Yeah,
who
that's
does
right.
The interview.
I'm Ed
I
Burns.
don't think he sounds like that.
All right. Now, we're going to go on that.
Ed Kooky Burns?
We're going to go on the premise. We're going to go on that premise that the O.J. going to answer a few questions now. All right. So let's turn our attention now to Mr. O.J. Simpson, the man of the hour. And
I have to put on the mask.
let me ask the first question of Mr. O.J. Simpson. Now, you told me you're going to answer anything, right?
That is correct. I would
All
love
right.
to.
Now, let me think of a question here. Now, where was you the night of August 7th, 1991? Because it ain't relevant.
I don't recall. I plead the fifth.
Let me just go
Okay,
on.
let's
the
move on.
President of BET, Jeffrey Cayley, takes exception to the idea that O.J. is doing this interview because it's the Black Entertainment.
Oh,
That's one.
right.
Yeah, go figure.
There are lots of issues around the O.J. Simpson case that have never been dealt with.
Like?
That concern the African-American community in this country. And we can't get to them because he won't answer this question. I can't buy that as valid as why we can't move on.
What's he saying?
I don't know.
Holy
But I
mackerel.
will-
He's the
let him have
president?
his say.
He's the president?
A question
Not
like,
of the United States.
where can a brother get them
Black
shoes?
Entertainment Television.
Let me ask you, where you get them Norma Kamali, OJ? Let me ask you something, OJ. Now, you said you'd answer anything.
They're right.
How was it playing football? Was it
game.
fun
The
or
big
was it?
game.
I hear it's hard work. People think it's easy.
Don't you have more of Mr. Lee?
Yes, I do. This is the president of the Black Entertainment Network.
And the Mystic Knights of the Sea.
We just announced we had an interview. And the questions that came back to us were, why BET?
Why?
And do you think it's poignant that Mr. Simpson chose BET because he's trying to build his reputation back in the black community.
Yeah.
We didn't stand up and say, BET is doing a black interview with O.J. Simpson. All black people gathered around TV. It's, you know, we didn't say that.
Oh, please. Really? Who's he, Johnny Cochran? Come on.
And finally,
why did he turn down the offer to be interviewed by Tom Brokaw and CNN and everyone else?
They said on the news that they can ask anything they want, but they're most interested in the things that have happened since the trial.
Yeah.
Like, what's your sign?
I think we said that, Jack.
What's your sign?
You ever called a psychic network?
I did exactly say that. Anyway.
Yeah. You want to hear the rest?
Mr. Lee, please.
Not cover the Simpson trial gavel to gavel. There have been other media outlets that covered it gavel to gavel every single day of its existence. And never can I say, as an African American, and watching that coverage, say that that coverage was presented in a way that took my position.
That was the most fair coverage you could ever have. They put a camera on the trial. Why would they have to take a position? Well, they never presented it in my position, which is all black people are innocent. Now, why don't they present that issue? Black people on this planet have never committed a crime.
Oh, dear.
And no black man like O.J. Simpson going to kill some white old people, like a wife and some round Jew.
Stop it.
Yes, sir.
They're all racist.
That's right.
They never even showed the jury. Why don't they show them? Because they're black. Most of the black people on the jury was never this and that.
Yes, sir.
No airtime for the blacks. Don't show them being honest jurors. That's my point of view. Now, why isn't anybody doing my point of view? Because you're insane. What is his point of view? Well, how much better point of view could you have than showing the trial?
The trial.
He's not saying black people gather around and watch the Black Entertainment Network.
Right.
Who's going to watch?
Now, out of all these here networks, it just so happened O.J. chose the Black Entertainment Network, which is a place where all black men can go if they've ever been accused of something, and we will be fluffy and light on them.
But they say they are toughening up now.
When you did that scene in Naked Gun 2.5, how hard was it to roll down the hill on that board?
It was very hard.
Let's ask a good question. Do you own a Stetson hat? And how does it stay
Now,
on your head?
you say, why did O.J. Simpson come to us? Well, we done outbid the Chink Network. He was going to go there.
CEN.
CEN, Chinese Ethnic Network.
They do say they had been pursuing O.J. ever since his the end of his trial.
Listen, I mean, this guy, I don't know this guy. I'm sure he's a very sane guy, but I'm just saying, no, seriously, I'm sure he is. But I'm just saying, what's his point of view? I don't understand.
He said it right there very clearly.
Just come out and say, we're the Black Entertainment Network. It's about time we got, a prominent black guy to do an interview, because we're black.
We were lucky to score O.J.
And it's a really good public relations move, because blacks supported him. For some reason, blacks went completely insane and supported O.J. And he wants to pay us back.
Oh, dear.
So, be honest. Anyway, you have another clip of him if you like.
Is that right? Maybe he'll make everything clear now.
Right.
I don't think so.
Mr. Simpson said to me on the telephone,
I
that
killed him.
we could ask him anything that we wanted to ask him. Now, everybody is trying to put their own definition
Can you inject him with sodium pentothal first?
on that. What we've said by carrying it to the next step, that he may not answer some questions, is just being totally honest.
No, I would get him in the room. If they were sincere, you get him in the room and you say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is Christopher Darden and Marsha Clark. They're going to assist in the interview.
Well, you can't have Christopher Darden. He's a token.
Oh, that's right. He's not a real black guy.
Okay, get Sinbad in there.
Fine. That would be acceptable. I don't know.
Hello, Jack. Yes? This is Napoleon. I pledged $6 million. What's that, Napoleon? $6 million. Thank you. I'll get to Dennis James right away.
Now, how do you spell that? N-A-P?
Let me call you Nappy.
Captain Jakes. Sitting at home with nothing to do, calling telephones. You just made love to the devil. You sit there on your monkey love. I was still
Just imagine that monkey wants to make monkey love.
You know what's funny? Captain Jenks, who can't even hold a job down at a gas station, he could hold up all of Hollywood. Get everyone talking.
What a country.
What a country. Oh.
Autograph.
I thought Panama City was like in Panama.
Unfortunately, it's not.
You mean there's a place in America called Panama City?
Yes.
Oh, God.
They love me.
They love me over there.
Yes. White people and black.
They made me feel welcome. They made me, I think the general sentiment, and I get it outside of the walls of my house from people from women, white women from Iowa.
White women?
White women.
Just like the one I killed.
Like 5'9", 60 years old.
And Georgia, even South Africa. Hey, go on.
The moon.
They
Pluto. Uranus.
There are people on Pluto.
They don't think I did it.
OJ hates me, by the way. We've gotten pretty good word about that. He called me an ass.
It was an F&A hole.
Oh, effing.
I would consider that a red badge of courage.
Yeah. I mean, a guy who killed 2 people believes that I'm an F&A hole? Okay.
You can deal with it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, which is a tough thing to accept. But go on with your life, get your kids, and, keep your head up high. The reason why, and we can go into it, I think the media. I think the media is the main reason why America is feeling the way.
Yeah, I advocate we go back to smoke signals. That way no one would know what anyone's thinking.
The best mode of communication is the telegraph.
Yes. If there was a telegraph, other people wouldn't be able to talk to one another, and then I could go about my business.
They're feeling because I don't think the media was given, I don't think the public saw when they came home from work or whatever they were doing at the end of the day. It's Saturday.
If they came home from work or maybe from the golf course and dating white women, whatever they do all day.
After going home killing their wives.
I don't think they saw. Is he going to say the TV coverage was unfair?
Oh, he gets right into it.
Oh, he does?
He explains that the TV cameras, on purpose, shot the bad signs instead of all the good ones.
Yeah. The reason people is turned off is the media and the 2 peoples I killed.
And watch the news and watch some of these talk shows. They were lied to.
It's going to be very hard for people to accept that when they see the Brentwood Butcher signs, the guilty signs hanging in the neighborhood that you lived in for years.
The media painted those themselves.
Tom Brokaw.
Is this where he goes? They focus in on but there were thousands of people
They were
cheering.
good signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were good signs, but the media doesn't show them. Good signs. We love you, OJ signs.
In years, the people...
This is where he says Bob Kardashian was counting all the good people.
Yeah. That's Bob's job.
Yeah, Bob's a great businessman. He can count people who are in favor of OJ.
yelled out,
one.
killer in this neighborhood. We don't want you anymore. Now, are you suggesting that didn't happen?
No, what I'm not only suggesting, what I am telling you is that night, if that was said, I didn't hear it, but someone said that night a group came. I would tell you that the majority of those people...
This is all meaningless chatter.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with this. These unsubstantiated allegations.
This is arguing whether people support him or not.
Right. You can't quantify this. There's nothing to back up any of these statements.
Right.
Was not from Brentwood. And I would ask any news media out there, you go back and you look at the video of that ride home. You look at me coming down Sunset. You look at me arriving at my home. The vast majority, I'm telling you, 95% of...
You know, when I saw this part of the interview, and the overwhelming feeling that I get is that O.J. deep inside feels... O.J. was shocked that black people actually supported him. He thought he was going to jail. I think he goes on the Black Entertainment Network thinking, hey, if I get on there, and I start... it's like Reverend Al Sharpton. I saw Reverend Al Sharpton screaming the other day on TV that they wouldn't let him walk in the street. They'd only let him walk on the sidewalk. And I said...
And now he's lobbying... he wants to be able to walk in the street every year.
Yeah, I mean, what a non-issue. You think about all the problems in the black community. Whether or not Reverend Al Sharpton can walk in the street or the sidewalk is probably pretty low on the totem pole. So now O.J. is trying to get the black people all fired up. Because they're crazy enough to think I'm innocent. Now I'm going to get them fired up to be mad at Ron Goldman's father, to be mad at the media, to be, you know.
Well, he's seen black people used in this way before.
Yeah.
And it's worked.
It works. Well, Reverend Al Sharpton, I mean, you should have seen him. I saw him on a Sunday show with the other black guy on Channel 5. There's only 2 black guys anyway on Sunday morning. It's this black guy, McCreary or something report.
Yeah, the McCreary report.
Yeah, and he's on there and he goes, Reverend Sharpton, what is bothering you? He goes, man, Rudy Giuliani wouldn't let us walk in the street. They had to walk on the sidewalk, and then we walk over here, and Reverend King used to walk in the street, and we got to walk over here. An hour of bitching about walking.
In the street.
Yeah, in the street. I said, man, this sounds like a guy who's just got too much freedom. They ought to lock him up.
People were clapping and giving me a thumbs up.
So now, like, the black people go, yeah, there was probably people clapping, and they didn't show it. Yeah. OJ's right. Well, OJ's right. OJ's probably right.
I'll ask him if they ever do that to the president.
Yeah.
You know, when the president goes somewhere, do they all of a sudden just focus on the bad side?
Yeah.
Bob Kardashian and I, Bob was actually counting what he thought were negative reactions, and he said he counted 5 or 6. Now, there may have been a group of people in that 5 or 6. We saw 2
Bob Kardashian was in the car counting negatives.
I think that's 4.
That one, I can't
Why
tell.
would that be on your mind on your way home?
Bob, I'm going to need an instant poll. I will need you to count all the people. OJ, I'm having trouble with this one guy. He's standing there. It's hard to tell if he's a pro or con.
Where do I put him?
I would put him in the pro category. Anyone you can't tell, let's fib a little and give it to our side for the poll. OJ has his own personal pollster.
There's signs. We saw tons of welcome home OJ signs, yet the only thing that the media showed you that night were the Butcher of Brentwood sign that was near the freeway.
That is not right. He's all mad. OJ's angry and upset.
You know what OJ doesn't remember?
What?
Is that when he was on that slow speed chase, all they showed was people saying, yeah. OJ, free OJ. They showed those signs.
Yeah, they sure did.
Okay. And another sign that said murder.
Yeah.
Coming up here throughout the interview, OJ just starts making up words, creating new words.
Oh, yeah?
And here's one of them.
It's almost impossible if you are... I guess what I see people with a lot of negativism.
Negativism. Negativism. That is a new word.
Well, later on, he gets very upset because there's a lot of prejudice.
Is it prejudice? You get that here too?
It's down. I'll get it for you.
Is this almost over? I got to keep playing this one.
No, that one's over.
Negative people with a bone to axe. I think I am now
a bone to axe. You know what happened? I'll tell you what it was. He got so upset when he said negativism. He knew that wasn't a word. Then he said negative, and then he was still thinking about negativism when he went and said bone to axe. You know what happens when you make a mistake and you're still thinking about it?
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what else it is these are the lines that have been fed to him by PR people.
Yeah.
That he's supposed
who know
to
how to speak English.
That he's supposed to focus on the negative aspects and how everybody's pushing the negative and their axe to grind.
Right.
But he doesn't know these. He doesn't use these.
Bone to axe.
No, I know.
I got to hear that again.
Axe to grind is one, and where did the bone come from? You think bone to pick?
Yeah, bone to pick, axe to grind.
Right.
I guess what I see people with a lot of negativism in them. Yeah. Negative people with a bone to axe. I think I am now every certain group of women, I should say, out there who has had a bad experience with a man who's been in a...
You ever had their head chopped off? One thing.
You know, the funny thing is the interviewer even is, he must be sitting there with his mouth hanging open. What else is he going to be? We heard those 911 calls. We saw the pictures of Nicole. Robin, he is the poster boy for wife abuse.
Robin, that was one incident, and since that time, he has not beat her since.
Doesn't matter to me.
I like the one he says, I like when he goes, I committed a crime against my wife. I paid for that. I went before, if that is a crime. But punching your wife in the face?
He is still not repentant, doesn't understand that he did anything wrong.
Right.
Abusive relationship. I have become their whipping boy. I am the guy that they look at.
Here he explains...
Is this the one where he says, if you ever get in an argument, I want you to take out a tape recorder and I want you to tape record. I'll be like, hey, Allison, hold on. I got to get the tape recorder. OJ says I need to tape record my arguments.
In fact, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, someone ought to remind OJ the reason his argument with his wife was tape recorded is because the 911 operator was tape recording it.
He didn't remember to tape it.
Yeah.
911 tape.
Now I got to tape arguments with my wife.
Go back and listen. You'll find out that you beat her.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing people who were in your corner from day one say to me, I do have a problem with him selling pictures to the star. Having that party. Maybe he should have just come home
I'm
and
not
been
going to talk
quiet
about the
with
party,
his...
but I would.
I'm not going to talk about the party. Why not?
What?
Because I can't figure out why I did that.
All right.
There was no
I hope, Ed, that I get a chance to sit down with you after the video is out, and then we'll talk about that party, that alleged party.
Alleged party.
There's no party.
I mean, everyone's a lawyer.
I saw balloons in the pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, what was the star doing in his house?
The alleged party.
Stay with me on that party, the alleged party, because that had nothing to do with...
This guy Ed is the worst. They're talking about parties. They're talking about...
Yeah, of all the things that OJ did.
Yeah.
You
It's
wanna
okay.
concentrate
You want to
on-
know something?
Let's stay with the party.
I'll forgive the party. The guy just got off $1 million to one shot.
trial. The trial was over. You were a free man at that point.
Ed, when you see the video, I'll come back on your show, and we'll talk about that alleged party. I explained that entire thing, and I think it's quite reasonable what took place. Let me say this.
Oh, this is where he explains how he's angry at Fred Goldman and the LAPD.
Oh, he's angry at everyone.
He understands their pain, but he's still pissed.
Yeah.
Fred Goldman,
is a Jew.
He's a crybaby.
He's a crybaby. He lost one son. I lost contracts with the NFL. I lost Hurts.
RC Cola.
I lost my
Thrown
seat
off
on
the board
Infinity
of
Broadcasting. I lost, he lost one waiter. Is what this boy was. All right? In reality, I'm a superstar, and he's a waiter. And let's say I did kill him. So what? I was blowing off some steam.
Now,
I lost a full year of golf. Okay? You want to talk about people lose? I would love to talk about that.
All he talks about in this whole interview is his passion for golf, how much he loves golf. But
They should rip out both his hands so he can never hold a golf
And
club
he has
again.
never hurt the golf course.
Yeah. Is that what he said?
I don't know.
I have never killed anyone on the golf course.
Did Nicole have a miscarriage, or did he lose a child young?
Yes. No, what happened was one of his children died
'Cause
from his first marriage.
He brings it up a lot.
Yeah, well,
a lot.
yeah,
He's
they
going to bring it up
told him
right
to
now.
do it.
While he was seeing Nicole, his first wife was
Yeah.
pregnant with this kid.
Is that right?
Had a baby.
Yeah.
And then the baby drowned
Oh, yeah, yeah.
while
Yeah.
she was trying to get over the fact that her husband was leaving.
Yeah, the baby drowned, thank God, because you found out it was OJ. His was his father.
Denise Brown, who was having love affairs. I'm just as innocent as you, who I don't know what you do as a hobby, but I'm sure you've been doing it.
Denise Brown isn't allowed to have love affairs?
Not according to OJ.
Right. How
He's
come
the
I can't have love
only
affairs?
person in the world who's allowed to do anything.
Right. Why is she allowed to have love affairs? Her sister was killed. I killed her. So why should I have love affairs and why should she have love affairs? He has no logic, this guy.
Yet, physically, I haven't been able to play golf, but if I was physically able to play golf right now, I would have played 12 more times. But I played twice. I've been out 3-4 months now. I played.
This is an interview that everyone's been waiting for, and he's screaming about that he can't play golf.
That's his major pain.
This is his way of distracting everyone and getting black people to feel bad for him. Yeah, if he was white, he could play golf.
Well, they were saying to him that,
I don't think the golf argument is going to go over with black folks.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry.
they were saying to him, how do you answer the allegations that you're not in mourning, you're out playing golf? And he said, hey, I mourned for a whole year and a half.
Oh.
Golf is what I love.
Right.
If you got out, you would do what you love.
Right. I only played golf twice, once for each body.
I practiced putting over Nicole's grave.
I drilled a hole in Nicole's grave so I could putt while I pray at her grave.
Waste no time. You mourn and putt.
I don't want to lose my stroke.
Twice, yet they tell me I'm arrogant. I was in my front yard petting my dog one day,
Oh.
They shot me in my front yard, petting my dog.
You're kidding.
They took clips of people like Kathy Randa and Nicole Povers coming in my house. They showed on some show on TV that I was being arrogant and I was flaunting my lifestyle. Some guy is standing on his car outside of my wall, shooting me, petting my dog in my front yard.
They should shoot you every day, you filth. They got to keep cameras on you every... we only wish we were shooting you while you were killing those two people. Then we wouldn't have to sit here with this nonsense. I can't listen to this. This guy's a freak. His head is too big for his body. Oh. How could a guy have such a big head and nothing in it, Robin? How could a guy have... There's got to be some brains in there. It's impossible. You ever see the comic Brainiac 5 with Superman? Yeah. He was a super genius. His head was 3 times his size. Right. OJ's head is bigger than Brainiac 5, and there's no brains in there.
I don't know how that happened.
I'm shocked OJ wasn't killing his dog on the front lawn. That would have been a great tape. Here, come here. Come here, Checkers. I love you. You never betrayed me like Nicole and Ron.
People who work for me come in and out of my house, and they're telling me I'm being arrogant and I'm flaunting my lifestyle. They go to this lawyer, Gloria somebody, and she is saying
he doesn't know
it's preposterous. It's insensitive. What's insensitive? Me petting my dog in my front yard?
Oh, you tell him, OJ. Go. I know OJ thinks like all the black people are going to rise up in the streets and now support him.
You know, they might have been willing. They might have been out of their chairs, and then when he said golf, they sat back down.
You think?
In this segment, OJ explains what efforts he's making to find the real killer.
Oh, okay. Well, then we better do that.
Yeah, let's listen closely.
Hey, OJ, you know, Hitler petted his dog all the time.
Blondie, love his dog.
Go back for me to what you're doing to find the killer.
It's difficult. One,
it's hard because I don't want to turn myself in.
And tea time is very early.
I could find the killer. In fact, I see him every morning in the mirror when I'm shaving.
I wave at him.
Because they block my ability to earn money, I only have a few people working on the case.
You do have...
I got Kojak.
I have 50 billion people working on my case.
Yeah.
I only have a few bucks to find the killer.
I would love to find the killer if it didn't cost so much money.
I would love to see the proof of those people who are working on the case.
Yeah, I know.
People out there working.
What have they come up with so far?
It's also difficult because...
They came up with some mass murderer killer. And Mark Furman was in on it.
They follow a simple lead, a simple follow-up. You get something like you got the last few days. I've heard that OJ's lawyers are trying to put out that this serial killer, I can't think of his name, Lynn Rogers.
Yeah, I hate serial killers. I only killed 2 people. This guy killed like 15 people.
That's excessive.
Yeah. My caddy is looking for the murderer. But at the same time, he's looking for my golf ball that I hit in the sand. He could be there.
It could happen.
Yeah, I'm afraid for my own life. The murderer could kill me.
May have killed Nicole. My lawyers have said nothing. I was sitting in my living room. I walk in, I got every lawyer that's working with me on this case sitting in my living room 2 days ago. And they're in there almost laughing at this. And I stop and I see what they're looking at. And they got respectable lawyers, good lawyers. One guy who worked for Bob Kardashian in this case saying, oh, it's preposterous what his lawyers are doing. I asked all of you people who read that report, name one of my lawyers who've done that.
Done what? What does he say? You know, let's talk to a guy who makes sense. Let's talk to David Carradine.
You know, there's these 2 coming up are pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Is OJ going to make some sense?
Well, the guy just asked him, you know, why don't you just go away?
What?
What? That ain't preposterous.
I'll kill you.
Klaus von Bülow has been compared to your situation in the sense that here's a man...
Yeah, but he's white.
...who was acquitted of trying to kill his wife. A number of people thought him guilty. When acquitted, he went away.
Klaus von Bülow was a tough one. This was a no-brainer.
No, but the point is that even if it wasn't as tough, Klaus von Bülow isn't standing here throwing parties, going on golf outings. He went away quietly and lived in London.
You couldn't find Klaus if you were you were Kojak.
That's right. He stayed. He learned the art of laying low.
He got Roman Polanski lessons.
He laid very low. People say, why don't you do that? Why don't you sell the Brentwood estate?
Because I love my golf.
Get out of town.
Go away for a little while.
Go where? What, they want me to go to Africa? Is that?
Oh, that's like, hey, black people. See, they're trying to send me back to Africa. Anything to get those black people riled up. OJ playing the race card.
What some of those people would want. Go where? I live in L.A. I see people, I haven't seen them. I hear there are people in Brentwood that don't want me in Brentwood. Maybe they are. But I would say this. I think I probably lived in Brentwood longer than 90% of them. They're squatters. If they don't want me in Brentwood, they should leave. This is my...
If they don't want me in Brentwood, they should leave. Squatters. They don't want you there because you're really bad for real estate, OJ. You're a murderer. You maniac.
OJ, the master of missing every point.
Yeah. If they don't want me there, they should leave. Oh, okay.
Home. This is where 4 of my kids was raised. This is where my...
No, 2 of your kids was raised with their black mother, and the other 2 was raised with the white mother at her condo.
Well, they got the weekend.
Oh, okay. All right. Weekend at OJ's. There it is.
What did David Lee Roth call you about?
There you go.
This is okay. I'll start Sex Friday with that, even though it has no sexual content.
No sex in it at all.
We'll get up to the sex. Don't worry. Plenty of time for sex.
You've made me sit on this for 2 days and not know.
Yeah, nobody makes you sit on anything for 2 days. So here's what happened. Here's what happened. Hey, don't fart if you're sitting on it for 2 days. Gee, whoo.
I'm trying to make you get rid of it.
Ooh, someone needs to spray. All right.
Oh, boy.
Listen to me. I got to tell that story.
You got to.
I got to tell that story
That
first.
is the worst thing that's ever happened.
We're sitting in the office. Robin really gave me a good laugh yesterday, and I needed one. Robin comes in and says to me, you're not going to believe what just happened to me. Robin has been dieting and stuff, and being quite successful at it. Her tummy is getting flatter, her ass more round, and her breasts have...
Well, there's always a cost.
Yeah. So, with what she eats and everything, she's been very diuretic.
Not diuretic.
Well, I don't want to say you had diarrhea. Anyway, yeah, she's very diuretic. She actually can't, what is that? She's losing water.
Right.
So, she's been having a lot of diarrhea.
No,
So-
I wasn't having diarrhea. Just a lot of urgency.
All right. Everything has been pouring out of you. So, Robin hates as much as I do going to the bathroom here at K-Rock at the studio. But, all right, look, she had an emergency. She goes in after the show.
I was debating, can I wait or I gotta go now? I was just like, I can't do this. I can't make it.
How many times a year does that even happen to you?
Not often.
Right. Me too. So, she was loose yesterday. As loose as my Scores pants. So, she runs into the bathroom, and she's doing her business. The door is closed.
I found it empty. I was so happy.
Yeah, the bathroom was empty. It's an off time when we move our bowels. And all of a sudden, the great saleswoman who works here, Marianne Freeman, who's a distinguished...
Wonderful, beautiful lady.
And a longtime salesperson. This is a businesswoman. This is not some kid. She walks in the bathroom. Now, she doesn't know it's Robin sitting there, but evidently Robin had been really going good.
Oh, no.
Blasting away. And then Marianne walked in. She didn't even know Robin was sitting there. She just went... like that, like a sound that comes out of an animal. She went,
when somebody punches you in the stomach,
yeah.
you lose
She just went, she went, whoo, like that, whoo. And then she went, oh my, someone's in need of some spray. And did she run out?
No, that's the most amazing thing. I told you, she didn't even realize someone was still in there. So then she must have noticed that the door was closed.
The paint was peeling.
And she got embarrassed from making such a big exclamation.
I've done that. I walked in the bathroom the other day with Baba Booey, and I said, whoa, is it reeking here? And then I turned around and I realized the guy was still going. And you feel bad.
You do.
You do.
You do. And I was too embarrassed to come out.
So did Marianne know it was you in there?
No, I would not come out.
Oh, you were done, but you didn't want to walk out.
I stayed in there and hid until she left.
And when she left, she was probably like, oh.
Oh, she probably didn't breathe until she got outside the door.
Well, what are you supposed to do? You had to go. Did you do a courtesy flush?
Yes.
Yeah. Can't imagine. I wish I smelled it.
Ooh. It must have been bad. I said, well, so much for me thinking I'm a better rose.
Yeah. Well, since I've been dieting, I haven't even been farting that much. So it's
Really?
actually kind of pleasant to be around me.
But it was just such a funny reaction because she was just, it overwhelmed her. She couldn't
Wow.
press it at all.
Listen
It
to,
came pouring out.
listen to what's going on behind us. All right, turn that off.
All we need is a little echo to put
Yeah.
us right in there. Well, you were going to tell me about David Lee Roth.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm just thinking about that story. I'm just sitting here spacing out going, that's pretty funny. I was laughing my ass off.
I was crying when I
Yeah.
told you that story. I could hardly get it out. It was so funny.
Howard,
Yeah.
that's the hardest I've ever seen her laugh.
That's the hardest I've ever seen me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, we were all destroyed.
I mean, Robin will tell you. I mean, she'll tell me stories that she thinks is funny. I mean, I'll sit there and be amused, but I don't laugh. Yesterday, I was laughing. I never laughed so
I
hard.
said, and I even debated, should I tell? I said, I got to tell.
Yeah, you had. You were really shook up. It was traumatic for you.
Yeah, I got to tell somebody.
Yeah, I'm the right guy to tell. So, well, good luck. Good for you. It makes you more human to the audience, Robin. In fact, Robin is very much obviously a big part of the show. She is maybe 80-90% of the show.
What are you talking about?
Well, topics about you. And someone faxed me about your date with Dennis Rodman. And this guy said, Howard, what could Robin possibly see in Dennis Rodman? He's an egomaniacal, self-centered, arrogant, emotionally disturbed, antisocial lunatic. Wait a minute. On second thought, they're a perfect match.
Oh, hey.
Look at Jackie, how he liked that. Jackie wrote it, I'm sure. Well, he did that from the other room.
Yeah, I didn't see him while that fax was coming out.
All right, anyway, listen. He's just jealous. All right, listen.
He wants to date Dennis.
He wants to date anybody. Be over at Scores standing on his head, drinking wine.
Did I tell you I was a gymnast?
Hey, girls, I'm back.
Jackie's in town. Actually, Jackie's kind of mellow there.
Yeah, he's well, since Nancy
Pussy whipped him.
deballed him.
She's got him firmly under control.
You know how they say that neutering doesn't change your animal spirit? It does.
And Jackie has this weird move now. Like, instead of saying goodbye to everyone, shaking hands, going, hey, I had a good time, like, he just slips out the door.
Right, yeah, he quietly just
Yeah,
goes.
just slips out.
Because I guess he can remember what he used to be like and what fun he would have been having.
Right. If Howard wasn't here, I could have fun. Because he'll tell my wife. He'll tell my wife. Yeah, so. You know who I admire? Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's in the paper today. His wife just had a baby. And he was just picked up for yelling at his wife in the house by the cops. And now he's having another affair, according to the paper, with a softcore porn star.
Jeez.
And
how busy could one man be?
He's having the time of his life.
I saw how busy he was.
Yeah, he is busy. You did see. You did
Whoa.
see. They're all going to go away. I'll still be here, pussies. Hey, you know who I ran into in the hall?
Who?
Marianne Freeman.
I just ran into her myself. That's why I'm late.
That's what I figured. She says, I better apologize to Robin. I said, she should apologize to you.
Yeah.
Robin had a terrible attack. Everything was pouring out of her yesterday, and she had to go to the toilet here, which she very rarely does. And she was in there. She checked out. The bathroom was all empty. She was in there, and she was doing her business. And Marianne Freeman walked in, and she didn't know Robin was still in there. And Robin was sitting in the stall being quiet, and Marianne Freeman went, what was the sound? Describe the sound.
Woo!
She went, woo! And Marianne Freeman's a very professional businesswoman.
I've never heard her exclaim like that in my entire life.
And she said, oh, my, someone needs to spray in here. Where is Marianne is here. Very good. Marianne, what the hell happened yesterday? You didn't know someone was in there, and the smell caught you by surprise.
Yes, it was.
Was it like the worst?
It was overwhelming.
Robin had a particular problem that day. She doesn't normally smell like that.
We all have this.
God bless us. We're all human beings, and
exactly.
we have to go to the bathroom. It's hard, and you're still wearing a clothespin on your nose. What happened? You thought the room was empty, right? You weren't even thinking. It just overtook you.
Yes.
And the sound you made sounded like woo.
She's talking to herself.
I was, and I said, "Oh, this room needs some airwick."
Now, did you realize after you said that someone was in the room? Because you did.
No.
Then you used the facilities. Robin was quiet as a church mouse.
No, I didn't know anyone was in there. It was like it was empty.
So the first you heard about it, because Robin was done, but she didn't want to come out of the stall. She was afraid you'd see her.
Robin, you know what? I would have been more embarrassed if he had come out.
Now, why are you apologizing to Robin? I mean, listen, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know, but
You're lucky she didn't have more to blast off with. Robin, it's you who is sorry for offending her.
I'm very sorry, of course.
Robin, don't be silly because it could happen to me too.
Right. I doubt that. You're like a rose.
Oh, thank you, Howard.
Well, very good. Someone told me you passed out in your office afterwards. Is that true? Not true?
Robin, don't listen to them.
Oh, even Marianne, as lovely as she is, occasionally has to.
How gracious she is.
Very gracious woman. Surely she was offended yesterday.
Oh, it was so funny.
As you assaulted her.
All she did was open the door and that exclamation went, woo!
Woo! And you had done a courtesy flush.
Yes. I was like, oh dear, it must
my.
be really bad.
What were you eating that caused you to have this attack?
I've been eating a cabbage.
That'll do it.
Oh, man.
Woo! Marianne is so lovely. I mean, she's just sophisticated. And should not have to be
Yes, of all people.
to be affronted like that.
Business suit and
Yeah, very professional woman.
Howard says to me, how did you know it was Mary? She was talking to herself. It was so bad.
Woo! So she didn't know you were in there, so she started talking to herself.
Like, woo, this room needs some spray.
And then you didn't hear from her again.
like she walked into a wall.
She may have suffered brain damage.
Watch it.
She doesn't seem as smart as yesterday. Well, listen, Robin, I'm sorry to hear your unfortunate accident. Everything is copacetic today, though, right?
Everything's fine. I'm leaving early.
Yeah, you better get out of here. All right, come on, let's do a little news. Try to act professional, even though you obviously off the air, you're out of control. You know, you always made it seem that you were so dainty in that area.
Well, certainly. I usually am. I just don't know what happened.
It's the new diet.
Must be all that cabbage.
Well, listen. All right, just another adventure. So anyway, I got a call on Friday from Harvey, the record guy.
Harvey Leeds?
Harvey Leeds.
Okay.
He said Ozzy was available.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, to come in on our show, which I was very honored because I'm a big fan of Ozzy.
Wow.
I'm really into Ozzy's new album. I'm into Ozzy, but Harvey said I better behave myself. I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? When have I ever dicked around with Ozzy? I've only interviewed Ozzy one other time.
Is Ozzy upset with you?
No. He's not upset. He's just nervous to come on the show. He wants Harvey to come in with him. I said,
Is he here?
I said, yeah, Ozzy's here.
Oh.
He's ready.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, how could Ozzy...
This guy eats bats.
Yeah, he eats bats. How could Ozzy be nervous with me? I'm more nervous interviewing Ozzy because Ozzy's a tough interview.
Yes, he is.
Because Ozzy, you know, he don't like to talk.
Didn't Ganji tell you he ran into Ozzy the other day and Ozzy just grunted at him?
Yeah. First time I ever interviewed Ozzy, he just grunted at me. And after I interviewed him, I ran into him at a hotel by a pool. I don't even think Ozzy recognized me.
I don't know. We were with Ozzy for a week, and I don't think he recognized us every day.
Bring in Ozzy, bring in Harvey, bring in everybody. Ozzy Osbourne, one of the greatest frontman ever. How could you ever be nervous by me?
I'm not nervous, but I was detoxing the last time I was there.
Oh, is that what it was?
That was what it was.
You know, that's right. You know what?
I was having big time rows with the wife because I was doing too many bad things to myself.
Yeah, put this microphone in front of you.
Do I have to have these...
The headphones? Yeah, but else you want to hear Robin and stuff.
Okay.
Here, put the microphone near you, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Let me soak you in, man. Let me look at you. Let me look at you.
What is that around his neck?
That's some satanic stuff. I have that same stuff. I got all that jewelry.
Certainly is.
Let me just look at you.
What's the matter? You falling in love with me or something?
No, let me stare at you, man. I'm not falling in love with you. Take it easy. What do you think? What do you think? I go that way? I'm getting crazy? No, listen, Ozzy.
Look at how good Ozzy looks.
Look how healthy you look.
That's good.
You know, now that I think about it,
I've had 4 grams of coke, all the rest of this garbage. And like, when I came and did this interview, and Sharon, my wife Sharon, was going, because she gives me the orders.
Right, right.
She goes, no,
I met her.
Just do this, do that. And so I've got her in the back of my head, like the good one and the bad one. If you say this, you'll say that. So I'm coming to do this interview. And it's
Good, excellent. He left his wife at home, finally. Hey, Harvey, how you doing, dude? Harvey.
Harvey's just waving.
I'd be more nervous having Harvey in the room than having him with you.
You like hanging out with Harvey?
You like hanging out with Harvey?
We go back many years.
Yeah, Harvey's a good man. He's a very good man. Who's the other dude with you? You got a little entourage with you today.
It's my sidekick, Tony Dennis. He's been with me forever. And
Oh, you the guy who takes care of everything? Yep. Yeah, I have one of those.
It keeps the police away.
Yeah, I have one of those. I call him Ralph. You have a Tony, I have a Ralph.
So now what are you drinking, Ozzy? You can't drink the Hennessy.
Yeah, what are you drinking now?
I drink coffee. I've got this new stuff. You've got to try. I brought some down. It's called wheat. What's it called, Don?
Oh, wheatgrass.
Wheatgrass. It's like,
you drink all
juice. It's like horse piss. You know?
You drink that every morning? That keeps you healthy. No, but you've done a complete turnaround in your life, because I was commenting to someone like Ozzy looks about 20 years younger.
No,
I said the other day.
I mean, the last time we met, that was like...
You were really messed up.
I was really dark on death's door, man.
I was talking to Ozzy, and the whole time, like, his hands were shaking, and I would talk to him, and he'd be like, hey, you were all messed up. And then I remember there was a whole list of rules the last time. You couldn't ask Ozzy about drugs. You couldn't ask Ozzy because Ozzy was on every drug.
he was doing too many.
But now you can ask him about drugs because he's off it.
You know, I've just quit smoking. Believe it or not, I'm a month without a cigarette, and I never thought. I mean, out of all the things I put through my body, let me tell you something.
That's the hardest.
I was watching the TV, CNN the other day, and I had some of the guys.
No, you can't use the S word, Ozzy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're saying tobacco. I don't want the audience to miss this. You're saying tobacco isn't addictive.
It is an addictive substance.
It is the most addictive substance on the planet.
It was easier to kick alcohol and cocaine.
Heroin, man. I was taking heroin. It was easy.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Wait, how long did it take you to kick heroin?
I wasn't really into it shooting. I'd snort it from time to time, but I didn't like throwing up.
Right.
I mean, I don't get that stuff, man.
You know what's weird? Because people will never understand this. Here you have like a lot of money. You got it's unbelievable success, right? I mean, what are the odds of anybody ever becoming a super rock star? And you have everything in the world, and then you're like on heroin and on coke, and people go, how can he do this?
How come he's not happy?
How come he's not happy?
But, you know, it's not being happy. It's not, well, it comes with the territory, you know. You're just like, hey, man, would you like it? If you've never tried it before, you want to try everything, you know.
Yeah, you get into it.
You just want to try it, you know. But when I tried heroin, and first time I tried it was in Germany, I thought, the guy gave me the wrong stuff, man, because this can't be the right. I was projectile.
You were vomiting.
The Exorcist pea soup was coming out of every orifice in my body for a month, you know. I was going, man, the guy give me some laxative or something. You know?
And you snorted it, and that's always weird, too, because you're getting this stuff, you don't know what anyone puts into it, and you're probably going, hey, man, I'm Ozzy Osbourne. Maybe some guy has a vendetta or something.
I'll tell you one thing, though, it cured my athlete's foot.
Did it? I didn't realize you had a first wife. What it was like when you just like...
Yeah, she's now got a job swimming up and down Loch Ness while the monster takes a break.
She substitutes for the Loch Ness monster.
She was bad news, huh?
So you're saying, like, did you get married at a very young age to your first wife? Yeah, that's like me. I got married very young.
About 3.
What happened?
I thought she was my mother for the first 25 years.
Was this before or after you got your graduate degree from Harvard? You met your wife. No, what happened? Like you were a young rock and roll guy?
I was just slamming every chick, smoking all the dope, doing all the drugs. Every friend she'd come in, I'd jump the friend, you know.
Right.
You know what one does when, you know.
Right, you were very young.
You're young, you're successful, you got $1 million in the bank. And you think your dick's invincible, you know.
Right. And so you were having some fun.
But then that big disease came. AIDS.
Right.
Like,
that slowed you down.
That woke you up.
Yeah.
When you go to the clap doctors now, and they all come out, they go, yeah, I've got syphilis.
You're happy. So you're very happily married. You're very happy to be married.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the ass. You admit that. I mean, everyone does.
But, you know, some days you get up and everybody, I mean, you know what gets me when you get these, you know, I was watching an old Dick Van Dyke show the other night.
Yeah, right.
What would they own, man? What the hell were they smoking in those days?
What, Dick Van Dyke?
No, in that era.
Yes.
You notice they all have single beds.
Yes.
How did they make babies, man?
Please, I would love that with my wife. I can't get her to sleep in a different bed. I am so
I
sick.
can't get in a double bed with my wife.
Me neither. I mean, I just don't want to be in a bed with my wife. I tell her I have to go to bed early. I want to sleep. I don't want to be woken up if she snores and stuff.
You know, my wife reads and you know, I don't get this, man. I got TVs in every room.
Right.
Every room.
Right.
The toilet, the bathroom, every room.
Right.
So I go home. I go to bed. She watches the TV. It was O.J. Simpson trial, man.
Yeah.
It was driving me insane.
O.J. was on every
I
channel.
wanted to go and assassinate the guy.
A lot of us wish you did.
But not only does she watch the TV in bed, she reads these Hello magazine, which is it's like one of these glossy magazines. And my wife turns pages like it sounds like an avalanche.
And you can't hear the
like,
TV.
I'm going, darling, I've just taken 4 seconds.
So in other words, Ozzy Osbourne has the same life that we all do.
We all do, man.
We all
It's
have the same thing.
I mean, everybody's the same. I mean, some days you get up and you look at your wife and you go, why the hell did I ever...
Does your wife yell at you like mine? Like my wife says to me, oh, you think you're a big star, and why can't you take the kids places? And do you tell her, hey, I can't go somewhere. I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I can't be seen walking around in a park.
Different in England. They go, oh, it's him again.
They don't care that it's you.
But Sharon, I mean... she's the other half of me. I mean,
Right. Well, she was your manager for a while, right?
Yeah.
Is she still managing you?
Yeah.
Oh, she is?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So does she go on the road with you and
No,
stuff? No. None of that goes on.
Well, she comes out, but then she spends a few bucks and she goes back.
Right.
So all this got junk here.
Oh, all that jewelry. She bought that?
It's guilt gifts.
Yeah, right.
I just said you.
Now, how'd you get off everything? Did you do it yourself, or did you go to a rehab?
I went to the Betty Fords and the AA, and to be honest, I learned. I got a few basic things of it.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the line is, if you want to do anything in this world, you've got to really want to.
You got to do it yourself.
You need help. But
Right.
The initial thing is, I went to. My wife put me in Betty Ford, and this is a God's honest truth. Hoping that they would teach me to drink like a gentleman. So I was like a pirate, man. I just bar dive and just throw everything down.
Like, it would have been nice if you had a few cocktails and could stop.
I go in there with a George Armani suit and everything. I got my tie and I'm ready for the go,
Right.
And so, direct me to the cocktail bar, and they all look at me as if I've just landed from Mars,
You go to Betty Ford and ask them for the cocktail bar.
That's what I did, man.
And when they told you
that's the only way she could get me in the goddamn place.
Oh, she didn't tell you you have to be dry.
Yeah, right.
So I walk in.
And you thought it was just a place where you go to...
I got pockets full of Valiums, Quaaludes, Coke. And they go, empty your pockets. And I go, no, it's why? And I go, we got to itemize this Valiums, Quaaludes, cocaine, syringes.
Right.
Bottle openers. Crates of beer.
They must have thought you were insane. They probably didn't. Don't you know where you're going?
I'm going. Because the only way my wife could get me to go in was she says, "Look, they'll teach you to do it properly."
Right.
Because I thought I was doing it wrong because I kept waking up in weird and wild places.
Right. So you said, well, maybe there's a way. Right. Well, maybe there's a way that I
just
could
don't
learn
know how to drink.
Yeah. Maybe I should drink like a gentleman. Just have a couple of beers or something like this.
That's what I went there for.
Yeah.
But
Take
then,
1 or 2 ludes.
Then they go like.
You can't have anything.
But it's like the doors are closed, and
you can't get
Betty
out.
Ford walks in. It's like, whoa.
Betty Ford actually shows up?
I spoke to her on several occasions.
Really?
Well, I think I did.
You mean Betty Ford and Ozzy Osbourne had an encounter group?
But you have these wings. You have these these different kind of some millionaire would donate a bunch of dope for the AIDS wing or whatever.
Right.
And have different kind of name. McCollum, this wing, this.
But what happens when, like, a guy like Ozzy Osbourne walks in? You're a celebrity. I mean, you're one of the most well-known people in the world. And Betty Ford walks in, and she starts rapping to you, and you're like, "Hey, I want to get out of here. I just came here for a few drinks."
But you can get out.
Did she start yelling at you?
No, she's very quiet. She was a very quiet. But it's like she would come and inspect the place like the royal, like a queen. There's a grain of coffee mafia over there, cigarette up there, give him 50 lashes. And
Did you try to make out with her or anything? Like, were you so...
make out with Betty Ford? I don't think Betty Ford ever Gerald Ford ever made out with her.
You don't even think he wanted her? No way. So well, let me understand something. So your wife, she says, hey, listen, I've had it. Ozzy's completely out of control. I'm going to lock him up in Betty Ford. She tells you you can go there and learn how to drink responsibly. You get in.
That's how you get in.
You get in.
You know what I did the first day I got out? I says, up yours, where's the bar?
Right. And they said, no, you're never going to drink. Did you have a roommate? Did you have to, like, share your...
I was sharing with a mortician.
A mortician?
This guy, and he was
that's
he was
funny.
all nervous, and I'm going, you haven't got a room on your own.
Right.
I went, this guy, he's always crying. I go, shut the
right.
up.
Shut up.
Why are you crying?
You big baby.
I mean, this guy's older than my dad, man, and my dad's been dead 50 years.
And the guy's crying in the room.
And he goes, oh, I'm so depressed. I said, well, why are you depressed? He said, I work with dead bodies. I said, you're in the right place, man.
Everybody's always in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy snored like
Yes.
a bull elephant on
Right.
this guy was like rattling the toils.
So there you go for some sleep and try to get on a normal lifestyle, and you can't sleep because the guy's snoring.
So then they come to me one day and they go to me, look, Ozzy, it's all a part of community. You've got to help people. So they fix me up with Psycho Man, right?
The Psycho Man,
So
yeah.
my wife buys me these running shoes. So I thought, the only way I'm going to get out of here is run around this lake every day. So
Right.
I'm just so I won't have to speak to these nutcases.
So they say if you run and do some exercise, maybe you'll be able to kick your drinking and all that.
I did it just to run away from these crazy...
Right, she said, hey,
He
listen.
didn't want to sit and
right.
talk to anybody.
So this cancer comes to me and goes, this guy, whatever. And so this guy's like all jumpy and jittery, you know. So he goes to me, where did you get your running shoes from?
Right.
I go, my wife bought them. And he goes, get me a pair. I says, well, what size are you? He says, your size. I said, well, how do you know? He says, I'm telling you, they're your size. This guy plagued me. And I'm getting on the phone to you. You're allowed one phone call a day.
Were you mad at your wife? Were you yelling at your wife and everything?
No. I was just showing, if you don't get me a pair of these running shoes, I'm going to strangle these mothers.
Right, because he's chasing you around for running shoes. So everyone was
So
hassling you.
listen.
Yes.
I said, you don't know whether they fit, you know. Try one on. No. You wouldn't try one on. So 3 weeks go by, I get him these running shoes. This guy squeezed a size 10 foot into a size 7 shoe. And he's got sores up the back of his shoe, foot jugging with me. And this guy...
Well, you're going to sit there, drug addicts. I mean, you know, they...
And so then he comes to me and he goes, I made a friend. I go, hallelujah.
And he left you alone?
No, I said, who is it? He says, that tree. I said, oh, man.
He made fun of the tree. He made friends with the tree. He had a lot of friends, didn't he?
Yeah, this guy was like out there, man.
So when you're at Betty Ford Clinic and your wife says, look, your wife had probably been at the end of her rope.
Oh, man, I was like...
You went crazy.
Nuts.
You were
Totally.
nuts. And because when I met you, I mean, you were really out of it. So I could imagine living with you must have been really difficult.
I mean, I would do this. I mean, looking back now, it's an absolute miracle. I'm not joking, Howard.
But would they sit you in a group and have you tell your problems?
Oh, yeah.
You would tell your problems to people?
I mean...
And what would you say? You would say, I don't want to quit drugs.
No, but you know what? I'm not dumb. I mean, you soon get the gist of it, you know, so you go...
Right, you play along.
You just go, oh yeah.
Anything to get out of there.
Just get through this term. It's like being in jail, man.
Right, because you really didn't want to quit drugs at that point. In other words, what you're saying is...
but at the end of the day...
Yeah.
I did want to quit. I mean, I just thought, I couldn't stand living, and I was afraid of dying.
Right.
And that's you hear like Kurt Cobain who shot himself.
Right. You found motivation to quit.
I mean that is just a long-term solution to a short-term problem, you know.
Right.
It's like I got too much to live for, you know.
Right.
But when you're in that hole, when you're in a crap alley without, you know, it's a god awful place. I mean,
so it wasn't Betty Ford, the Betty Ford Clinic that taught you how to.
I got the catalogue at home. It was good, 5-star, 4-star.
How many did you do?
Oh, about 7, I think.
7 rehabs.
7 rehabs?
Yeah.
well, eventually it worked, right?
You liked it.
But you know what?
But you have never looked at... You know what pisses me off, though? Guys who use a lot of drugs... I even said this to Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. I said, you guys use tons of drugs, and then you end up looking young.
Yeah.
You end up looking good.
It's like you preserved yourself.
Yeah, what did you preserve yourself?
I work out, man. I got a life cycle.
We're taking a walk down memory lane now that Ozzy has a memory again. It's great.
But after that tour, it's all blank until like last year.
Did you black out all the time? I mean, there's probably stuff you've done you don't even remember.
All the time.
Really?
I've got kids that I don't even know.
He has no idea.
You have no idea what you did. Well, Ozzy, you kick ass, certainly, especially on this new album. It is
How
excellent.
did you always keep up the musical chops, though, when you were so out of it?
Maybe that was it. It's good to be out of it.
But I tell you what, this Osmosis album was the first album I not only co-wrote sober, but recorded sober. And I kept thinking...
This album is the first one you did sober?
Absolutely.
Because you know the track that you guys the first single from this album, I thought was absolutely brilliant. Let me just play a little of that to give people some, This is Ozzy, like, directing an orchestra, actually. Right, Ozzy? You stood there with a baton and everything?
Yeah, up my rear.
Up your rear. That's excellent. You would actually conduct the orchestra with your rear end.
You know what?
You've always managed to kick ass.
But you know what I noticed with a lot of bands now? I'm on the road now, but so many bands, I've got zero personality.
They don't even want to move on stage.
The audience are there, the band are there. It's like, I'm whatever the name they're called.
See, I like you, man. You rip off your shirt, you show off your tattoos. Even when you got fat and you were drinking and stuff, you would take off your shirt, man, and run around.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why are we going through a vegetable period? Why is everybody called lemon, melon, orange, apple?
Because everyone's a homo. That's why. You need a real man like yourself. A guy goes home to his wife and gives her sex no matter what.
I don't know.
No matter how many years you're married.
I don't know about that.
How many times a week you have sex? How long you been married to Sharon?
Well, I've been married to Sharon 15 years and I'm on Prozac, so work that out.
I've been married 20 years. I'm married 20 years to the same woman. I got it. This is rare. I got it twice this last week, and if I'm lucky, I get it once a week.
Oh, yeah, that's about it.
Right?
But the kids, you got the kids.
Yeah.
Mommy, we know what you and Daddy are doing in there. What are we doing? Watching TV while she's going through this goddamn glossy magazine, you know?
You're not doing anything in there. You wish there was something going on.
So you come away, it's in Manhattan, she came in today, we got our room to ourselves, and you go... What do we do, man?
Yeah, you got a room to yourself. You're like, who cares? What's the difference?
You get used to it, man.
Right, you do. That's the problem. You see, that's the problem with long-term relationships. I've said this to my wife. I said, you got to let me do something. At least I go to Scores and I see some naked girls.
It's a TV program. It's on late at night. I don't know what. It's all about how to enhance your sex
life. Did you get that?
It's crap,
It's
man.
not true, right?
I mean...
you know how you enhance your sex life? You get a new woman. That's how you do it. That's the only way.
Or grease your hands.
Yeah. No, you know what? You see, Ozzy knows what it is. He's made a commitment to a woman, but it is rough. It is not easy. You don't know what you're doing.
Let me tell you something, man. And this is a fact, man.
Right.
I've been with my wife for 15, God knows how many years.
Right.
If men had menstrual cycles, there'd be a war every 28 days.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Some mornings I get up and she goes, hang your coat up! And I go, I always leave my coat there. But I'm sick and tired of being there. And you go...
But don't you ever say, like, hey, do you ever say to her, hey, I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I make a goddamn good living.
Yeah, but
I don't need this crap.
Then you hear a resounding frying pan over the back
I know.
of the head.
Well, don't you have, like,
You're not Ozzy Osbourne here. Pick the code up. then when it's all over, it's going, darling, why isn't your coat there?
Right. And
it's like going, hey...
Right, you can't figure anything out. And what about your kids? Are they like totally freaked out that you're Ozzy Osbourne, or they don't care?
No,
they don't care.
No, do you know what? The main one of them, and it sounds slurpy and all whatever. One of the biggest achievements of my life, what I'm most proud of, is that I haven't had a cigarette for nearly a month because my son adores me and I adore him, and my girls adore me and I adore them, and same as my wife. And I was sitting having dinner when I'm at home, and my son comes home, he's doing a project.
Right.
And he goes, Dad, I go, what? He goes, do you know that in cigarettes there are cyanide, and he starts reading me all this, killing oh, fuck it. So I go, screw this, and I go outside.
All your dog does is turn good food into bowel movements.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So he comes out, and I'm sitting on the step, and I think, oh, it's a nice English day, so the sun's shining, birds are tweeting. I get this Havana cigar, and this dog follows me everywhere like me and my shadow, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting there, I light up, he looks at me, and he's got this expression on his face. what are you doing, man?
That disgusting cigar.
And he walks off, and I go, and that's when it started to get to me. I'm going, if this dumb dog don't like the smoke, and I'm smoking it,
That's when you realized smoking was bad, because if the dog who's so loyal to you won't sit with you with a cigar.
I haven't seen him.
Right, and it turned you around. It turned around your life.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're Ozzy Osbourne. You observe these things.
You listen to dogs.
You listen to dogs. That's it. Me, I ignore dogs.
If I drink any more of this weed, Joe, I'll be sniffing dogs.
Well, how was it working sober?
It sucks.
No.
What do you mean?
To be honest with you, I do sometimes think, well, we would be like a nice sunny day. I would sit there and have a beer, but I know me better than anybody, you know.
It wouldn't be one beer.
Ozzy, you probably had a messed up childhood or something, right? Did anybody beat you when you were a kid, or did your dad yell at you or something?
Well, it was a thing. I'd smack.
See, that's why you need the beer. Right.
Do you know, when I was a kid, my father and mother would fight all the time, right?
Right.
And I used to say to my father, Sunday morning, where you going? And he'd go, off my goddamn head. And I used to think,
right,
there was a place called Off My Goddamn Head. And I used to think to myself, wow, man, I can't wait to be old enough to go to this place called Off My Goddamn Head. Because it's just had a row with my mum. He's called it all the sons of bitches under the sun. He's going to this place called Off My Head, and he's coming back singing. Right?
So it sounds like a great place.
So when I'm old enough, I'll get there. I'm 14 with a pair of stiletto boots so I can look taller to get a beer.
Right.
And I find this place, beer, and I drink it, and I go, no, that's not the stuff, man.
Right.
So I imagined it to taste like nectar. It tastes like
garbage.
Horse urine.
Right, horse urine, right. You couldn't believe it.
I said, no, man, you've given me the wrong stuff, man. The stuff my dad drinks, you know.
Yeah, right. Stuff that makes him happy when he comes home and he doesn't yell at us. Is your motivation that you say, hey, listen, man, I got to get out of the house. I better write another album.
I retired. When I got
yeah, you're always retiring. But then you stay home for 10 minutes and you go, what am I doing?
I go home, the dog craps, there's only one thing worse than putting your foot in warm dog crap in the morning.
What's that?
Cold dog crap.
Yeah.
You see, everybody don't think it's for real that I don't get stoned anymore.
I believe you. I believe you.
I don't do it. I got no desire to. I mean,
really.
But are you on Prozac?
Yeah, I'm on.
Well, Prozac is different. That's Ozzy. You are on Prozac?
Yeah, I don't recommend that to anybody because your wiener just goes up your.
You can't even get. You can't get aroused.
Oh, Miss World could walk through it. It's like.
Really?
It's like.
You can't even wake it up.
No kidding.
No, it's dead.
Are you thinking of going off the Prozac, or you better stay on?
I'm going to get some horn pills.
Yeah. Well, you got to get something to get your wiener up.
Yeah, like a elastic band tied to the end of the bed.
No, seriously, Ozzy, why the Prozac, though? Why don't you get completely drug-free?
I'm a psycho.
Right. So, in other words, this keeps you nice and even.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't on Prozac, this studio wouldn't be here, man.
Really?
I'd have come in with the flamethrowers.
Wow. Do you ever try to analyze it? Like, what's going on inside of you?
I'm nuts, man.
Really?
Well, what are your thoughts?
What are you thinking? Would you kill people or something?
I mean, I just go into this weird vibe, this weird thing. I mean, I look at some of the old footage and some of the old pictures, and I go, whoa. It's like him. It's like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
I'm here.
Right. So how many times a day you got to take Prozac?
One time a day.
Oh, just one time a day?
Yeah.
Like a vitamin?
Yeah.
And you really notice a difference?
You don't get like euphoria.
Uh-huh.
But what would happen to me I would wake up in the morning, a disaster area, and as the day would go on, it would escalate into like a major
problem,
catastrophe. But I still get them. It kind of nips it in the bud, and it doesn't escalate.
Right.
Ah.
But then
maybe I ought to get on that.
Have you ever tried?
No, but then you got a side effect. You can't bone anybody, man.
Really? That's so. You're married 15 years, so
I know.
It's better off. Listen, I don't get it that much. I probably need Prozac just to make me forget that I have a sex
You're a
life.
massive jelly sack, man.
Yeah, I like that. I might want to go on that Prozac. All right,
But wait a minute. I got to ask. So, I mean, do you now go sit with a psychiatrist, or do you?
Sometimes.
Really? I was thinking of getting into that myself. How is that? Sitting with a psychiatrist.
They're more rock stars than me.
Really?
So how many records you selling? How many points you got on your tour? What's your concession deal?
That's what your psychiatrist asked you?
I had a psychiatrist, and they get me to go when I first got sober. this guy in LA, and Tony, my assistant Tony, would come along with me. I used to go to Tony. Either I'm totally out of my mind, or this guy's doing his own gear. This guy's like talking out of his head.
You think the psychiatrist was on
And
something?
he was.
He was on drugs. He was drinking.
No, but he had like a drawer full of drugs, man.
Really?
He was slumped over the thing.
So you went over to talk to him about getting off drugs, and he himself was on
He
drugs.
was stoned more than me. And I'd go over there. He'd be like over the coffee table. And I'd go like, I'm here. Grab him by the head. I'm here, Doc. Yeah.
So
just take these and come back 3 weeks later.
So aside from the Prozac, you are now drug free.
Well,
yeah. Right. Excellent. Well, there you go.
Coffee.
The great Ozzy Osbourne. Hey, you got to get this new album. It is really good.
But at the same time, I'm not one of these holier than thou people that say, like, because I done it, everybody else should do. Hey, if you're out there and you're having a good time, you like getting stoned.
Do your thing.
Just get on with it.
Try not to let it ruin your life. That's what you're saying. You're not going to preach.
I mean, why? I mean, if you'd have said to me 10 years ago, I would have gone like, you know why?
Get lost, right.
2 words.
Right. F you.
Not get lost, but...
Right, I understand. The words you can't say because you're from England. All right. Anyway, Ozzy, thanks for coming in. It was great to see you. The great Ozzy Osbourne. Make sure you get this album. See it? Osmosis. I don't know if you can see that. We'll throw it up on the camera. And, Ozzy, thank you for stopping by. I love it. Okay, we'll be back right after this.
God bless.
That was good. Ozzy Osbourne was really funny.
Yeah.
That's a funny guy.
We've never seen him get through a story before.
No. That Prozac is fantastic. I mean, aside from the fact that he can't get it up.
It has one little side effect.
Yeah, big deal.
Once more.
He's a damn good talk show guest.
Oh, I'm telling you.
What a wild man. Well, Ozzy, I go, well, Ozzy, why are you still on Prozac? Because I'm insane. There's something wrong with me.
At least he knows it and he admits it. I'm on it because I need it.
What did he say he was drinking? 4 bottles of Hennessy?
Yeah, 4 bottles of Hennessy, 2 cases of beer. One wonders when he had time for anything else with this ingestion. Then he was taking cocaine and all the pills he could
I
get
think what's
in.
great is that he didn't, pee every 10 seconds. Because, you just drink that much
How
fluid.
could you get physically that much booze into you? My God.
Oh, the man who drinks a 6-pack in 5 minutes. You
4
get
bottles of liquor, that's a... Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think he's exaggerating a little bit.
I don't.
Now it's got to the point where he says, I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I can't just get drunk on a bottle. I have to have 4.
I don't doubt it for a minute. Every one of those stories is true.
I don't know. When you think about the volume, 2 cases of beer.
Yeah. Well, that's spread out over 24 hours. You don't do it in 10 minutes.
But that's 24 cans of beer.
Yeah.
In each case.
I've done that though.
Yeah.
2 cases?
I've done about a case and a half in one night. You know.
Wow.
You know, I mean, if you're drinking.
Oh, now you want to be the rock star in
No, I don't do it more.
More. I went to the Betty Ford Clinic because I wanted to drink responsibly.
I wanted to drink like a gentleman.
Yeah, like a gentleman. Drink like a gentleman.
But I knew that there had to be more than one. Nobody does
Yeah.
it through one rehab.
Well, it's funny that his wife had to lie to him and say, Ozzy, you'll just go in there and drink like a gentleman. And he brought all his booze.
They'll just teach you how to drink it easy,
And he walks into the Betty Ford Clinic and goes, where's the ball?
And with pockets full of drugs.
Right.
Empty
He's
your
funny.
pockets. What?
He is funny, man. That guy's great.
But he was at 7 rehab centers.
Yeah. And it took him
He did
probably
them all.
probably the first 4. He just had to get the concept down that you have to go there not to do anything. Don't any of you have a bar?
None of these rehabs have a bar.
What fun is this? What do you do? I just want to have 1 or 2 drinks a day.
And then he's got to be locked up in there with regular people. Can you imagine Ozzy having to deal with
Ozzy and a mortician. Yeah. The guy was all crying because he had to work with dead people.
At least he had a reason for taking drugs.
All right. And he's supposed to be compassionate and everything, and Ozzy's telling him he's a jerk because he's crying.
Shut up.
Shut up. I'm trying to sleep. It's bad enough I can't do any drinks. Now I can't sleep.
I don't know if he's completely off all drugs, though.
Well, he's on Prozac.
Well, he also said something during one of the stories about how his wife's turning the pages so loud, and even after 3 seconds, also
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think maybe drugs means like maybe drinking.
Off the street or
yeah,
something.
right. Yeah, like medicinal drugs.
Doctors prescribed drugs are okay.
Because he was even like looking at us when we said, "Well, you're off all drugs except for like Prozac,c," and he goes, "What? No, I'm off all drugs." Like, what do you
I
mean?
swear, nobody believes that I'm off everything.
Right.
But you're on Prozac.
That's right, Robin.
Yeah, and so they go out and buy businesses, and then the businesses go bad.
Robin, I said that's right, and I vomited. Did you notice? I
I
vomited.
can't pay attention
All
to
right.
all those noises you make over there.
The only DuPont that actually did anything that I think is noteworthy is Alfred E. DuPont,
Alfred?
who started Mad Magazine.
You're silly.
Yes. Let's take a break. We'll be back to start the show because this is not even the start of the show. This is, I don't even know what this is.
Alfred E. DuPont.
Alfred E. DuPont. And you're like, oh, I never heard of him. All right, let's take a break, Robin. We'll be back right after